This specifically is a Grand Panoramic night vision goggle. It's going to give you a little bit more than 180 degrees, and it's going to be for night, of course, and in conjunction or in work with the radio, it's going to become a system. Internally in the tube, we have the technology to try to include a display where it's going to show you different information that is really valuable for the soldier, like a GPS, latitude, longitude. It can also be the count of the weapon that you're holding, so it's going to be a ballistic information. And with the radio, it can virtually communicate really long distances and anywhere. L3Harris is the only vendor in the world that has really developed the technology for a real third generation tube. We can really offer something that we call on-film technology. The on-film technology is basically eliminated a part of the old technology that is basically a little piece of film. And why is that really valuable for the customer? Because it's going to give more gain and it's basically extending the life of the product. Our night vision goggles are completely accepted and already certified by the US Army. It's not only limited for US Army, it can be for the Navy, Special Forces, not Special Forces. The NATO right now is using it, so several allies in Europe for the NATO, they use it too. Five Eyes, the countries that they're really, Canada, US, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, they also use this technology. We are in Latin America because as any other company, we want to grow our footprint, and we know there's a need for these type of systems. One of the other catalogs that we offer are basically the family of Falcon 3 radios. All of them are really tactical radios. For any kind of situation for the armed forces, we offer these not only to the Army, it also be for the Navy and the Air Force. Right now, what we're showing here is basically a base station or a vehicular configuration. As the name stands, it could be installed in a vehicle, or it can be installed in a vessel, in a ship, boat, or it can be in a standalone configuration, and that's the reason why we call it a base station. This other radio is the HF radio, the Manpack. This is a very important radio that L3Harris is the #1 in the world, and the reason is very simple. When any other means of communication fail, and you want to have a long distance communication, this radio is literally going to save a life. And you don't need any kind of repeater, you don't need any other infrastructure. The other important thing is with all our radios, it's not only the RF, it also has an IP gateway. So literally, it's not only talking about the RF, a radio by itself is a computer. So everything nowadays is IP based. So you can literally, it's not only about voice, but it's also about securing or being resilient around the data. And you can do that with this radio. Every radio in part of the family of Falcon 3. The next radio that you're looking at right now is an airborne radio. So you can install these in any platform that flies, whether it's a helicopter, an aircraft, or whatever other means, you can install this radio. It has 2 channels. It's literally having 2 radios inside this little box. Like with many other radios that we manufacture, it is secure, resilient voice, data, and it can be video, and it can be all that information that is really relevant to, make secure not only a country, but most important, the user. In this case, this little box is also an airborne radio, but it's more for unmanned platforms, UAVs. And this one over here is important because we have a combination of a radio that, at this one over here, is also 2 radios inside, okay? But in addition to that, you can include a third module here that we call it a mission module. So actually you're gonna have 3 radios in just this little box. You need the amplifier, and this is really good because you're gonna be able to amplify 50 watts across the band, which is not easy to do. And that is important because of long distances. This one is very secure and it can be installed in many platforms. It can only be in a command post, meaning in an office, being standalone. It can also be installed in a vehicle or in a vessel or any other platform. And last but not least, this is part of the new one, the newest radio we have, which is part of the Falcon 4. All that I've been talking is part of the Falcon 3 family. This is Falcon 4. The philosophy in Harris is always everything is interoperable backwards, which means that Falcon 4 is able to talk to Falcon 3.